Today we are diving into one of the most iconic films in cinema history, Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. But hold on, because this talks might ruffle some feathers. I am here to ask the question: is Pulp Fiction really a masterpiece, or is it just an overrated mess that's been glorified beyond its worth? Let's get on to it. First off, let's talk about the non-linear narrative. Sure, it's innovative, but does it really add depth to the film, or is it just a gimmick to make a straightforward story seem more complex? For many Indian viewers who are used to logical storytelling, this disjointed approach can be confusing and even frustrating. It feels like Tarantino is trying too hard to be different, and in doing so, he sacrifices clarity and emotional engagement. Then there is the violence. Tarantino is known for his graphic depictions of blood and gore, but in Pulp Fiction, it feels like, in often times, feels unjustified killings and self-indulgent. Unlike Indian films where violence typically serves a narrative or moral purpose, here it seems to exist purely for shock value, not for the content, not for the storytelling. It's almost as if Tarantino is saying, look how edgy I can be, but does that really make good for storytelling? And here is another interesting part. The dialogue is the another point of contention. Tarantino's scripts are prized for their wit and sharpness, but let's be real. How much of it is actually substance versus just style? The conversations are peppered with pop culture references and profanity, which can be entertaining, but they often lack the depth and poetic quality. It's clever, yes, I can agree, but it can also come off as a shallow and self-indulgent. Now let's consider the cultural relevance. Pulp Fiction is deeply rooted in American pop culture, which can make it less accessible and relatable to the international audiences, including us here in India. While the film has its moments of brilliance, it doesn't necessarily resonate on a universal level. We have our own rich cinematic history and cultural context. Finally, there is the hype. Pulp Fiction has been lauded as one of the greatest films of all the time. But is it really deserving of that status? Or has it just become a sacred cow that critics and fans are afraid to criticize? And Pulp Fiction is a film that polarizes audiences. While it's undoubtedly influential and has its own place in film history, calling it a flawless masterpiece might be a stretch. It's a film that's I mean, it's a film that's more about style than substance, more about shock value than depth. For those who appreciate a strong narrative and meaningful storytelling, Pulp Fiction might be a just overrated film.